Hello Internet! I'm HamsterBomb and you are watching some more Ask Hamster. Anyway, let's just get on with it. What's your favorite direction? North, south, west, or east? Well, whenever I get lost in the woods, I prefer northwest, southwest, so some combination of those, but the majority of that was very much west. Is anybody even gonna get that joke? Have you ever visited Arizona? If so, how was it? If not, are you ever going to? It would be awesome to meet with you, or it would be what? What would it be? And no, I've never been to Arizona before. I've never even been very far, other than a few exceptions with trips with my family where they brought me places, but really I've not been that far west at all. So I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to go that far west or, you know, do conventions over in that area or something like that. I don't know. It's all to how large the channel gets if I get the chance to do stuff like that. What to ask? Oh, I know. Have you reached HR 999 on For You yet? If not, what rank are you at? Honestly, I have no idea. It doesn't really bother me what actual rank I'm at in Monster Hunter. As long as I can see all of the quests and I can do them all, that's all I really care about. If anything, what really bothers me completion-wise is, do all of my quests have check marks, and do I have all of the awards in the game? Because if you go in your guild card, they'll show you have awards in the game. To me, that matters so much more than that number, because, I mean, I don't know why, that, for some reason, doesn't bother me at all. I think because you don't get an award for having the highest hunter rank, so, I don't know, it just never bothered me. And what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? What? I don't know that. Whoa! What's been your favorite video to film so far? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know, there's a bunch of them that I've had a ton of fun filming that I never expected to be that much fun, like silly random videos with Matt playing Monster Hunter Generations. One in particular I remember was when we made chicken noises through the entire video, and people were so either angry or thought it was hilarious. I thought it was just funny. But there was a bunch of other stuff. There's one that I'm working on right now that I'm having so much fun with, but it's taking forever for me to do it because I have no off time to really work on the video. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. I could probably make a whole— I was actually going to start doing a top 10 my favorite videos video, but I don't know how silly that might be. Have you played Breath of the Wild yet? If so, what are your thoughts on it? There's a story about that. No, I have not played it, and no, we do not seem to be getting the Switch. Long story, I've been waiting a few days to make absolutely sure that everything that I think and I'm suspecting is true. And if that's the case, I'm gonna let you guys know about what's going on, because there's some drama going on right now, and it's kinda shady stuff, so I'll let you know whenever that happens. But no, I have not gotten a chance to play Breath of the Wild. I've not seen anything about it. I'd love to. I have Zelda stuff behind me. I would absolutely love to play the game, but no, I've never gotten a chance to. What are your top 10 pet peeves, if you have any at all? I gotta say one thing, I am a perfectionist. Like, it really bothers me if there's like very small, minute problems in something that I see. If I notice it's there, it's gonna drive me insane. Like, if there's one dead pixel on a huge monitor, it will drive me insane. I will see it forever. Like, for example, this little Mew plushie, before this video, I just tried cutting off the tag, but because the bottom of it was kind of rounded, it was impossible to cut the tag in a way that would not show little bits of it at the bottom. And I was even looking at it like, oh, I can't get it off. You know, just little stupid things like that. Like, I don't know, like imperfections on your screen after you know, talk too much in front of them. Your, game screens, I'm talking, like the little marks that will just never come off of the screen. Little things like that, if I can see it and I can't make it spotless and perfect, it drives me crazy. Wasn't much of a top 10, but seriously, I don't have all day for that. Thanks for the great content. I just got a shiny starter Totodile on Heart Gold Soul Silver. Congrats, that's the one I wanted to get. I got a Cyndaquil, but still, that's awesome. Hey, Hamster of Bombs, what is your favorite and least favorite game you uploaded on this channel of yours? My favorite game, I've gotta say, I think is Pokemon Q-Charm. There's no other game that I boot up and I am happier to play. I don't know, I think it's that game. It's just so much fun to just casually try, and one, it's a completionist kind of thing, it fulfills that part of me. Two, I get the shiny hunt, it's so much fun. And three, it's my favorite Pokemon game on top of all of that. So, I don't know, I just love Q-Charm. And my least favorite, I'm sorry, of course, it's probably because it wasn't finished, but Persona 3 that I was doing with Matt. it just really bothers me seeing something not finished. Of course, like I was just saying, but I look at it, I'm like, I wish we could have finished it, but it would have been enormous. It would have been several hundred episodes, and we already had so many technical issues going through the first, like, 10 episodes that we were like, we can't do this anymore, so, darn it. What's your favorite Pokemon game? You know, I was actually thinking about making, like, a top-rated most favorite to least favorite Pokemon games, just so I could better answer that question, because right now I just said it, it's Heart Gold is my favorite Pokemon game, but there's a lot of really good contenders, and I have a specific rating of how they all organize and stack up in my head, of which ones I think are the best. Video for later. Is the 100th video of Q-Charm the finale and the end of the series? No, I can tell you it's not. I had to film way ahead of it in order to get to the point where I could, you know, schedule videos out at where they need to go and prepare Platinum Q-Charm, so I had to work ahead on Pokemon Q-Charm at Heart Gold with you guys on streams, and that's why I can tell you for sure 100 is not the end of the series. It will actually end on episode 115. We're gonna have plenty more to go. Don't worry about that, but I will tell you episode 100 is going to be our rematch of the Elite Four. I'm smiling like an idiot because you answered my question, lol. I'm sorry I made you so stupid by answering your question. What is the actual definition of YouTube? Let's get some definitions from Urban Dictionary. Yet another way to waste time at work. Over-caffeinated 15-year-olds with camcorders, window movie maker, and way too much free time. Anime fanatics who believe that virtually every song sounds better when remixed with completely random clips from their favorite episode of Naruto. Online video sharing site owned by the mighty Google. Urban Dictionary is the best sometimes. Did you know I'm actually on Urban Dictionary? I don't know who made this, but seriously, it's pretty funny. Sorry I called you a PokeTuber in that one comment that I didn't even know you saw. I apologize, I was just being stupid. No, don't be upset if you called me a PokeTuber. Like, the reason I point that out and I say, like, I don't want people to call me that is because I don't want labels. I don't want people to say, that I am, for example, a PokeTuber, which means that they are going to subscribe to me and expect a particular type of content. I want people to subscribe to me because of me, you know, I don't want them to subscribe because of Pokemon, that's something else, you know, like, subscribe to a person on YouTube because you like that person and you like what they're going to play. It's like if, your best friend started making videos on YouTube and they were playing Breath of the Wild, for example, game I'd love to be able to play and watch, and then one day they finish it and they decide they want to play Metal Gear Solid instead. Well, they start playing that, and people who labeled your friend as a Zelda player all unsubscribed and left, or didn't care, or criticized him for what he was doing now, even though that's what he wanted to do. That's why it doesn't upset me if people call me PokeTuber. I just wish that they didn't label people, is really what I'm trying to say there, if that makes sense. What is your favorite Mario game? You know, it's funny because I feel like it's not the one I started randomly playing with you guys to surprise you on a stream one day. That we've actually been playing a few times, which was Mario Sunshine. Oh, it's really tough, but I think I've got to go with Super Mario World. I first played it on the Game Boy Advance, and that was so much fun. I love that game. Hey Alex, I was the first question. Also, you don't make bad content, you keep up the great content and work. Also, I'm impressed on how great you are with not the biggest budget. Shark Tank, I have zero budget right now, seriously, like, technically, job-wise, I really should have made you guys another video explaining what was going on. I just didn't want to upset or, like, scare anybody or upset people. But, yeah, technically, to make it really brief, I used to work part-time with one company doing video work, and then part-time as a teacher. I'm still a part-time teacher, but the video company was going to give me a full-time position when their budget renewed in January, and early this year they decided instead they were going to let me go and have me just do contract work with them instead, and since then I've only done one video, which is really not paying anything. So I went from making like twice as much that what Kim makes to making a third. So that's really, really hurting. And basically no budget right now. And it doesn't really help that YouTube right now is also making way less than it was before. It's just how YouTube's programmed. It's just a bunch of bad luck all stacked on top of each other at the wrong times. It's horrible. I love Alex. I just love this dude. No homo, Atomic. But I love how I totally just like tried my best to make fun of you as best I can, and you still come back, and you got the joke. That makes me very glad that you understood I wasn't being serious. Hashtag Ask Hamster. Have you ever played a Metal Slug game? And if so, which one was your favorite? No, I haven't. Which makes your second question a little hard to answer. Hey Alex, what are your top 5 Pokemon based on looks and based on battling with? For looks and battling, trying to combo that together, I think I'm gonna say Mega Mowl's one of my favorite, who's just kind of popping in my head. Shuckle is awesome. I love this Shuckle. I like Togekiss, not so much with its design though, more of like how you can fight with it. Drifblim, yeah, I have one more, I don't know. Skarmory. Skarmory's cool. No, seriously, there's just a random picture of a Skarmory on my wall right now, so don't worry about that. Thank you for being phenomenal since you began YouTube on all your channels. Keep continuing to be a legend. Well, thank you, Haribo, and keep on blazing. How did you enjoy Peace Walker and Ground Zeroes? Love your work and the effort you put into your channel. Keep it up. Peace Walker hit me kind of hard. It was strange because I just finished Metal Gear Solid 4, so I was really expecting something very different out of that game. And then when we got Peace Walker, aside from the obvious graphical jump and the hardware limitations of the PSP, getting over that took a while because I just finished 4. But on top of that, the story being drawn back so much and gameplay being prioritized felt really strange in a Metal Gear game. So Peace Walker, though it's really, really good, I still think it's the least successful, in my opinion, of the Metal Gear games. I'm comparing like the greatest of desserts to even better desserts. Does that make sense? So I'm like, you know, sure, this chocolate fudge sundae is just okay here when, you know, it's significant, looks like it's awesome over here, right? You know, I'm comparing really cool stuff to each other. Ground Zeroes, I think, takes, and Phantom Pain, I've paid a little bit of it so far. They take what was attempted in Peace Walker, what that change was, and really made it big and take full advantage of better hardware. And I think it's really good. To me, it doesn't really feel like Metal Gear sometimes. It feels like I'm playing a different game, but it's still really good. Soul Silver is clearly the superior version. In my opinion, the only thing Soul Silver has on Heart Gold is Skarmory. Everything else, I think, is better in Heart Gold. Like, if you look at all of the differences, and really honestly, there's not too many, but if you look at all the differences, Heart Gold is clearly the superior version. Keep up the great work! Love your channel! Thank you! I noticed the Platinum Q-Charm logo in the end credits. Yay! Also, will you be doing Pokemon Coliseum Randomizer and Pokemon Platinum Q-Charm at the same time? Yes, I will. Yay! Pokemon Coliseum Randomizer is actually going to be starting very soon on May 7th. I had to double check my calendar back there. I've scheduled everything out on a giant whiteboard Kim got me. It's very helpful. And Platinum Q-Charm, that's gonna take a little longer for that to start, but I'm gonna confirm it will start in very early July. We're gonna run out of Heart Gold Q-Charm by that point, and we are starting our brand new Q-Charm adventure in Platinum in early July. So yes, they will be at the same time. It's just Coliseum Randomizer you will get first. I love your content, it's great. I won't see someone's true opinion on someone else's channel, which I respect. I don't want to go so far as to say that that applies to everybody, because of course it doesn't. It's just, I want to make sure that when, like I was saying before, people subscribe to a channel, they're subscribing for the person and not their content, because if it's the content coming first, the person comes second, their opinion will never be able to beat through that content being #1. You know, so example, I just made, like, I love Monster Hunter. I play a lot of Monster Hunter on my channel. It's a significant part of my channel. But I still just made a video complaining about the new one I'm playing with, right? So if Monster Hunter came first, I would have understood that's detrimental for me to play on my channel. Or I'm sorry, that's detrimental for me to make a video like that for my channel. It's actually going to either upset people or lose them, and it did. A lot of people unsubscribed and got very mad about that video. But the thing is, I think more people were happy that I did that. And so I justify it and I say, okay, well, that's me, and if that's what I have to do to show me on the channel and not just a brand, that's what I need to do. So I'm glad that I get to do that. I wish more YouTubers were a little bit more proactive in doing that on their own channels. Granted, there are still a lot who do, so what I wanted to say there, Popular Guy, was I don't want to make it sound like nobody else does, because they do, it's just not that many. Last Ask Hamster, number 14, Finn gets roasted. You said MH4U had some flawless. I think you mean flaws. What would you consider these flaws are? Yeah, there's actually several flaws that I find in 4U. I mean, I'm not gonna try and come up with all of them right now off the top of my head, but in comparison to, say, 3U, which is what it would be compared to if I was gonna make a video, I think the music, in comparison to 3U, just wasn't the new stuff. Wasn't just, I don't know, there was something that was kind of missing in the new music. I don't know, maybe 3U just had phenomenal music and that in comparison wasn't as great. I think the climbing mechanic really got overdone, where you had to climb a ridiculous amount to go from area to area sometimes. That really got more frustrating than anything. I feel like the volcano area doubling as another area just during a different time of day or something was just really lazy. I was super disappointed when we went to the volcano and it was the same as another area we'd already been to. Like, oh, well, that stinks, like a lot. But yeah, anyway, there's little things like that. I mean, there's nothing like huge, completely stopping the game, like, oh, hold the phone, this is horrible. And really, Generations doesn't have anything like that either. What Generations is, though, if you saw the video, I had to make, it's because it's a bunch of little things all adding up and making a different feeling for the player as they're playing through, because if there's so many itty-bitty little things just kind of slightly nagging them, it all adds up into something bigger. And yeah, 4 Ultimate definitely has flaws, but there's not nearly as many of them, so they're more like, they can be brushed off. Hamster, when the next true addition to the Monster Hunter series, probably Monster Hunter 5, comes out, do you think there will be the odd MH Gen things like Hunter Arts and Styles? I was actually having a conversation in the comments of another video with Atomic Thomas about this, and we were talking about what's the difference between gimmicks in new video games versus new mechanics, and that's kind of hard to tell. He was claiming that underwater fighting was a gimmick of Monster Hunter 3, and I argue that was a mechanic that they've added. That's not a gimmick. What a gimmick is something very small that you just kind of put into the game to slightly change up what's already there. And in my opinion, the 3 Ultimate gimmick was subspecies monsters. They're basically the same thing, and for the most part there have been some in the past, but it was really elaborated on in 3 Ultimate. And with that many of the subspecies monsters not really being too much of a difference, helped sell that game as opposed to Monster Hunter Tri. If you're going on that same aspect, vaulting and jumping was a new mechanic added in 4, as opposed to Frenzy and Apex monsters, which was the gimmick, I think, because that, of course, was taken out. And subspecies monsters, for the most part, have still kind of stuck around. We've had a bunch of them throughout the series, but there's still some that have kind of disappeared. The ones that really changed from the original one, they're kind of not here anymore. So, with that, I mean, I don't know. Going on to Generations, technically Hunter Arts and Styles are mechanics, but I really hope they don't stay. I really hope they don't, because if Monster Hunter 5 still has those things, I'm still gonna play it. I will. I love Monster Hunter. I will definitely play with them to the end, but geez. At the same time, I'm gonna be going back and playing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate again. I'm gonna be playing the first game again. I'm gonna be playing Freedom Unite all the way through this time. And I'm just gonna be looking at the new games like, oh, they really gotta add something else really big to get me excited if they're gonna keep doing the Hunter Arts and Styles, or change them up so they're a little less broken. But still, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like them. This personally. Hamster, I don't know if you're familiar with Ego Raptor, but what are your thoughts on the Zelda sequelitis? You mentioned YouTubers not being able to be critical of games. I actually love that video, but still, I gotta say, that's a great example of one of the YouTubers who will just straight up say whatever he felt like. And granted, he doesn't have too many videos though, so it's not really, that's not a great comparison, because that's pretty much all he does. There's also people like Zero Punctuation who will very much tell you exactly what they feel about the game. There's a lot of people who do that. There's even big companies who do that. So that's great. I mean, but the thing is, when it's the Let's Player themselves speaking out against what they just did, that's a lot harder. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. That's so much tougher. I'm talking to the people who don't want to hear that message. That's what's so hard here. I'm hoping you enjoy Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain, and then maybe, just maybe, Metal Gear Survive will be a good game. Sorry that you don't get to do the Codex skits anymore. Like I said, I did get to play a little little bit of Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain, and it's great so far. It's so much fun. The game itself is really fun to play, and so far up to through Metal Gear Solid Pass, it's been more about the story for me. Like, I really want that story, but the thing is, I'm content with the ending in 4, and looking through Peace Walker, sure, it was cool, but it wasn't really adding anything really, you can argue it did, but really significant that would really change the whole story, which everyone so far had up to that point. Phantom Pain, I'm hoping it does, but it seems to be more of like an experiential kind of thing, which is awesome. Metal Gear Survive looks terrifying. Like, oh god, Konami is just shooting themselves in the face so hard with that game. That's just sad. And yeah, the codec skits, I wish I could keep doing them, but to be fair, Metal Gear Solid themselves even stopped doing the codec stuff because, for the same reasons, I couldn't keep doing it because I didn't have the time to. If I had a better job, I'd be able to keep doing it, but I can't for now. I do agree your point about Monster Hunter Double Cross should be a DLC rather buying a new cartridge, but Pokemon should do that too though, such as Diamond and Pearl Expansion Platinum. That's kind of really different though. I mean, sure, you're going across the same map, but it's a completely different game in that example you're saying, because Platinum, you even take the gyms on in a different order. There's completely different Pokemon in the grass. There's a lot more Pokemon in the grass. They added new mechanics. They sped up the software running. The engine itself actually plays faster and better than in Diamond and Pearl. So that one physically did need to be a new cartridge. And then since then, Pokemon kind of has stopped making that third expansion of a game. The only time that they have done it in recent past was, well, I kind of argue Sun and Moon is technically, not really. It's like Generation 6.5, I like joking around it, but I was going to say Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, which, once again, is a story expansion. You play everything totally differently, you use different parts of the same region. So I don't think it's a really good example going back to Monster Hunter, because Monster Hunter is really, you could literally download the rest of the game. It's like, imagine in Pokemon, you played, pretend that Heart Gold and Soul Silver, for example, you, in story, played through the 8 gyms and beat the Elite Four, and that's the game. But then another game comes out that says, like, I don't know, the Heart Gold G-Rank expansion, and you can go to Kanto, get the other 8 badges, and rematch the Elite Four. That would be a cumulative of what this is. It's just extra content that you're downloading. It's not changing the entire game. That's what Platinum did and what the other Pokemon games did. That's why they justified another cartridge being made. But in Double Cross, I see it and I'm like, you're just milking us for money. Ask Hamster 2 questions. How would you feel if they were to bring back underwater combat to the series? I would have a whole new level of respect for Capcom, seriously, because they saw a problem that fans were upset about, and they disregarded it and got rid of it, instead of fixing it. And since they got rid of it, they also abandoned so many monsters who were really, really awesome to fight in the 3rd generation games. Shame on Capcom for just giving up on their fans like that, seriously. 2, have you ever thought about doing mini-skits for your channel? You seem like you're a good writer, and I think it would be hilarious. I've done a few, but I never get enough time, like the Codex skit stuff in Metal Gear. If you want to see some, I've done some in Metal Gear's Codex skits. In, mainly, Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3 is when I got the big ones in. There's little intro things in 1, but they're not the same. Still, I would love to do more stuff like that, but like I said, it's a time-based thing. If I was getting paid money somehow, yes, I would, but like I said, the job thing is a real problem right now. You really haven't changed, Alex. Still humble from less than 1,000 subs to present. That's why we are here to back you up. Like your vids and smile every time you have a new video. Sincerely hope your success here in YouTube, so we can have you all by ourselves. Blah, selfish fans. Take care, Alex. P.S. And if I want an honest review, I go to you. Ask, and 98% it will get answered. What happened to the other 2%? I missed your comments? You got my name right after 5 tries from past to present. Kerosenex. But anyway, yeah, if you guys want me to respond to your comment, don't post it as a reply to something I've said. I don't see those in my notifications. You have to actually just go make a new comment. If you make a new comment, then for some reason it shows up in my notification list. If not, it just gets lost to the void, and I have way too many videos. I can't just go, you know, through the 1,300 plus videos I have on YouTube and read all of the comments and refresh what's new in here. I left this question a while in case something came up for me to ask, but since nothing has, I'll ask a generic question. Okay. What is the all-around weirdest game you've ever played? Undertale. That game is so strange. I'm still recording it right now. Don't tell me any spoilers about it. I'm actually playing through it because Echo, one of you guys, actually just donated the game to the channel, so I can play it for everybody. We had a recent poll on how to film the series, and everyone voted for me to do it. Well, not everyone. The majority voted for me to do it in episode style, so I'm doing it in episodes right now. I'm waiting until I finish the whole thing before I start uploading them, though, because I want to make sure it's spoiler-free entirely. I'd definitely come if you did a meet and greet, except I live in England, 3,760 miles away, 11 hours and 30 minutes away. Well, this didn't go so well. Anyway, I have a question. Is there such a thing as mushy peas in America? Well, I mean, I could sit on my peas and they'd probably get pretty mushy, but no, I haven't heard of that. Oh, okay. Two cannon play at this game. As a fan, I can use the wind to extinguish the flames. And I'm gonna make my own flames and have some roasted hamster for dinner tonight. You know why it's so hot in here? Egg, Nectar, and Gravio's having a battle right now, and you're in the middle of it. What is it? Wow. You then said so many nice things about me and Caitlin. Sniff, my favorite YouTuber, just praised me and my loved one. I'm so happy. Also, that whole scenario was hilarious. I'm glad, Atomic. Like I was saying earlier in this, I wanted to make sure you weren't actually, like, you took it the wrong way. I was joking, obviously, through the whole thing, but still, this is hilarious, too, but thank you, and thank you to everybody else for making the rest of that. The comment section in the last one was just hilarious. I would totally be up for a meet and greet with you, and it wouldn't be very hard for me since I'm only 2 hours away from Cincinnati now, since I moved to Ohio a few months ago. I moved for personal reasons. Sounds a lot closer than 11 hours and 30 minutes. I don't know. Alex Moriarty, start swimming! And I'm sorry I haven't scheduled things like that, like, lately. Like I said, really busy time right now. Anything that I'm not doing here on YouTube, I'm doing, like, work in the house. I'm working with, the wedding planning stuff, and on top of that, I'm also trying to find another job, so I really can't be spending it doing the extra skit-based stuff and the top 10 videos and all the other stuff that I really want to do until that gets resolved. Describe your ideal dream Monster Hunter game as in you are the director-producer. Oh, that could take forever. If you want to get a good idea of that, check the video that I made a while back called, like, Why I'm Not Excited for Monster Hunter Cross or something like that. People generally really hated that video, but I was telling you honestly what I would want to play in a Monster Hunter game. I think there's a lot you could do with it. I don't know how well it would sell. I would love the game. I don't know who else would, but still. I think there's a lot Monster Hunter should be doing to utilize new hardware and stop trying to keep pretending that we're limited, you know, for new cartridges and things like that. Also, what is your favorite new monster in Double Cross, Deviants included? For me, it's obviously Baru Faruku, which I think his name is Valf or something like that. He's just so dang cool. Valf is really cool, I gotta say. His design is amazing. I love that thing. I'd love to fight it. He looks a little too Final Fantasy for me, like not quite fitting the Monster Hunter franchise. He's okay though, because I mean we've had, you know, fire shooting out of wings in monsters before, Di Morales, and I gotta say, he's one of my favorite monsters anyway. I'd really like to fight him. I've never seen anything about his fights so far. Aside from that, I don't know many other monsters added in Double Cross who are new, to be fair, because I haven't, like, played the game yet, so, and I'm also still staying very much blind to the game until, you know, I get to play it. Right. But on top of that, I gotta say, when the game does come and I make videos about that, I will not call him either Baru Faruku or Valf, because there's no good way to say it. It sounds like you're dropping the F-bomb every time you say it. Like, did the Japanese guys who translated this game just like, dude, let's call it this. Let's call this monster Titty Twister. It's the same thing. Like, I'm gonna call him Rocket Dragon. Is everyone cool with that? We will never call him Valf again. His name is Rocket Dragon. I don't know how far away you live from Indianapolis, but Indie PopCon will be coming here in July, I think. I've heard you talking about your budget problems on stream before, but I just thought it might be nice for you to know about a convention since, in case you decide to do a fan meet and greet kind of thing. I've actually already been to Indie PopCon. Where were you? No, seriously, it was like several years ago. I went there with a friend of mine. We were selling comics there that we'd worked on. It was actually right before my YouTube channel got really known, so nobody really knew me there at all. So there was that. I was like,
hello, I am Alex. I make comic book.
oh. And it was horrible. We actually just decided we were never going back because it was such a terrible convention. It was, I think, their first one ever. The next year, they were way more successful, which was a shame for us because it cost us so much to go there, and we lost so much trying to sell there. I think throughout the entire weekend, we sold 3 books. Like, I don't know what it is about Indianapolis, but everyone there, it was really hard to describe. I'm sorry if you live there. Everybody I met was extremely rude. Like, they were, like, pretending to be nice on the surface, and then they were, like, the most rude people you've ever met. I even made, like, a mini comic sketch series making fun of how rude the people were there and the weird stuff that happened. It was ridiculous. It was an event. Also, Ask Hamster, are you nervous about the channel growing, possibly ruining the community you have here? You know, new trolls, in general jerks, stuff like that. Good work on the new videos, keep them coming, especially the Monster Hunter ones. You know, I was worried originally, but now after I made that recent video, I can basically scare them off by making videos like what I just did about talking about Monster Hunter Generations. And besides, there's one thing that never runs out of ammo, and it's my band hammer. Yes, my hammer has ammo. Because it's infinite, you know, you just kind of hit it a few times and you don't have to sharpen it either after every 10 swings like a Monster Hunter hammer. It's just like, you can just keep on whacking them moles and they go away. Someone asked me if I had to be subscribed to only one channel, and I said, HamsterBomb! Cue intense music. Well, I don't know about that. I just lost the rights to a ton of my music on the channel. I mean, a ton of it. And guess whose fault that was? TGN. If you remember the TGN fiasco that happened last year, they are still causing me problems, and all of the videos that I have with any music on it was taken through Epitaph Records, which they gave me the rights through, and they claimed I'd never lose that. Well, they somehow, for some reason, decided to fight that, and now they're making me either take down all my videos with music in it, which is basically all of them, or give them rights, or give them money based off of every time that it's played, which is fun, isn't it? So, great, I'm making even less now. Anyway, debate of the century. Will Monster Hunter Double Cross be the best Monster Hunter game of all time? How is that even a debate? In the left corner, we have the illustrious, radioactive Atomic Thomas, who thinks Double Cross will put the rest to shame without breaking a sweat. And in the right corner, we have the great, grand, and glorious HamsterBomb, who thinks Double Cross will fall short just like its predecessor. Which one of these explosive tyrannical overlords will prove that their blast blight is more potent than the others? Find out today on Ask Hamster. Spoiler alert, the general public's opinion will probably be right in between ours, so there's really no way to answer this question. Actually, screw that. It's not even a question, it's an opinion. I just posted this for fun. Respect. Like I was just saying before, Monster Hunter Double Cross is inevitably just a G-Rank expansion of Generations. It can't fix everything that I said in my other video, so inevitably, how could it possibly be better than the other games? That's the only thing I'm saying. It could be the best G-Rank expansion ever, and it doesn't matter. It can't, in my opinion, it can't possibly be better than the other ones. I would still play any other Monster Hunter game I've played, including the first one. I have a lot of fun playing that first one. People denied that the first one could ever possibly be that fun, but you haven't really tried it then. You gotta play with a bunch of people, watching one person scream at the camera that's killing them. It causes so much more frustrating stress, which can be really fun because it's so crazy hard. I don't know, I feel like any other game is better than Generations and Monster Hunter wise, but that's just my opinion though. I think it's just the new additions kind of ruined the game, but still, that's just me. And that's all we have for now, so thank you all so much for watching. If you guys want me to have if you want me to read your comment in the next video, leave it down in the description below for me to pick it out
as the fruit is growing slowly and lowly hanging for me to deliciously pluck.
But anyway, that is all the time we have for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like the videos and subscribe for more, and I will see you all in the next Ask Hamster. Bye! How did I get this on here? I can't get it off. Ah! It's stuck to me. Okay, good. Oh, there we go.
I thought you were stuck there, Mew.